right now.
Okay. So, yes and no.
Okay.
Right? Things are happening right now that you may or may not see, but it's not collapsing our current situation. Right. It's preparing for the collapse, right? And you know, if you look through history, ever since the first collapse, the Great Wall Street collapse, when the international bankers forced the smaller banks to sell all their stocks to call notes due, that's what caused the run on the market, right? And then everything went to crap. Well, ever since then, every dip, every dive, has been orchestrated. They have a control over the market. Yep. So those things are outside of our control, and they're constantly going to be happening. But there's other influences going on in the world that we do have control over. The problem is we're allowing ourselves to be force-fed this consumerism. I've got to have this shiny new thing. I've got to go get that. I've got to go get this. I've got to work 40 extra hours so I can afford to take my kids to this show.
So I can pay my minimum payment on my credit cards.
Yeah. Oh, I'm just going to max that out a little more. Oh, I got an extension on more. I can spend more. Okay, we're good. Okay, now we're at $500 a month on the monthly bill for that, and we're never going to pay it off. Like, that is, like, we are in a bondage, not just politically, not just the control of taxation, which is theft and all the other stuff, but, like, we are binding ourselves down and making it impossible for us to live a higher quality of life if we're, spending on credit, if we're going further into debt or buying a lot of things that then are managing us and they own us instead of us owning them.
And I think this is a lot like, and I really like to refer to the movie The Matrix, right? Nobody can be told what The Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself, right? This is kind of similar in this.
Is that the blue pill or is that the red pill?
You take the red pill. Red pill is what wakes you up.
What's the blue pill?
Blue pill is basically puts you back to sleep and you believe whatever you want to believe.
Oh.
So
well, that's not very fun.
No. And so, yes, red pill all day long. But I guess what I'm getting at is in order to see, you have to take that red pill. You have to wake up. You have to see it for yourself. Right. It's hard for me and for Scott and I to explain what we're seeing. And it's kind of like go to the analogy of what does salt taste like, right?
You can never explain.
You can't explain what salt tastes like.
There's no word other than salty to describe the word salt.
And you can't describe what it doesn't taste like because that doesn't help. It doesn't taste like, but it does, you can't describe it, so you have to experience it for yourself. So that's really, I guess, what this is meant to inspire you to really open your eyes and look at all the lies we've been told over the years, for the decades and centuries, that things they're collapsing right now all around us. And I gave a few examples, Venezuela, Argentina, and if you think these are one-off anomalies, they're not. They're all they're interconnected.
They're test markets.
That's a good way to put it.
The simplest way of putting it is you can look at Venezuela as it's market research. Here's a test market. We're gonna test, see how quickly we can destroy a nation using these practices, and then we can apply those same principles to other places. And there's so many. And here's the other thing: is like people think there's just one organization masterminding all these things. It's like there's so many different organizations that are masterminding their own fate, and they're even competing against each other to try to have power and prestige. But the sad narrative is that most of us are just blissfully unaware, and then we'll become painfully aware when something triggers.
Again, back to the Matrix. Ignorance is bliss until it hits the fan.
But you don't have to be freaking out. Like there are things that I'll learn, and I'm like, oh, that's heavy, and then you move on.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't have to let it just beat you down and bear you down. But like the thing is if you can focus on skills, if you can focus on abilities, if you can focus on using your time that you would normally put towards other fun hobbies to split it up with fun hobby and learning hobby, and gravitating towards skill development. Like you're also improving yourself as a person, and those are things that can carry over into careers and other things you're doing.
Here's something I wanted to point out to kind of help you see. Basically, it helped wake me up to show you that an example that the system is broken.
Okay.
I'm a big silver guy. That's no mystery. And so I follow silver every day. I'm watching what the price is doing, and when things go down in price, what usually happens? There's usually there's usually very low demand for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's going down in price because there's no demand for it, so we're lowering the price to see if we can get somebody to buy it. But what happened this week? The U.S. Mint ran out of silver eagles. Why is that?
People are buying them.
Well, people aren't buying them. That's the whole rub here. People are not buying silver eagles. Their sales have been record low this year and last year.
But where did the silver eagles go?
That's the big question. They're not making silver. They are required by law to make eagles as the demand requires, and to get their silver wherever they can at whatever price. It doesn't have to be sourced here in the U.S. So they are out of eagles. Yes, they're making some more, but how would they ever go short of eagles unless they can't get the silver? So people, you need to understand that if price drops low, these mines aren't going to sell. People are not going to sell because it's below the cost of production. And I don't know what's causing this all to happen, but something is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
This is
Absolutely.
not kosher. This is not normal for a depressed market to run out of a product.
Well, the other thing
makes no sense.
So you take into consideration that you wonder, okay, well, why is it being pushed so low? And I think the reason it's being pushed so low is that people don't see value in it, and so that any currency that is created can replace
Absolutely.
it, right? Any
turn toward the
monetary
dollar.
means what they do. And I think we're moving to an all digital market.
All digital money.
All digital money. I think that's where we're moving to. Everything seems to be retinal scan, finger scan, face recognition,
Paperless.
digital. I don't feel like we're very far off from that.
No, we're not. It'll happen suddenly and quickly, I think.
Oh yeah,
at
absolutely.
a certain point. And I think you're absolutely right. You know, I advocate obviously for silver and anything tangible.
Mm-hmm.
That is where value truly is. That's where wealth is. It's in tangible.
Yeah, beans,
items,
bullets, Band-Aids.
Exactly. It's in those
silver,
types of resources.
Gold.
It's in land. It's in
Food.
farms, being able to grow your own food, and just real wealth, tangible things. And what's happening is the exact opposite. Everything is going away from that.
Mm-hmm.
So take the other end of that trade,
Okay.
on with it every day long, and take the opposite end of that.
Well, now going into the minimalist style and minimalist idea of living as a prepper, like we also have to start considering things of like, okay, well, where do we go from here? How do we fix things? How do we communicate? How do we have that community plan of action? Right. Pretty excited. There's a event going on this weekend up in Bountiful. It's actually up in Centerville. It's the South Davis County Preparedness Fair. I'll be heading out to that, enjoying that, hopefully, for a little bit tomorrow. But like,
You're close.
I'm close. Like, so if you're up that area, get over there. It's at the Larry H. Miller Megaplex up there in Centerville, off of Parish Lane.
All right, we got a call here. Let's go ahead and answer. Let's see what they have to say. You're here live on Prepper Talk Radio. Did you have a question or comment for us?
Yeah, interesting topic, what you guys are talking about. What I'm hearing is a lot of people are trading in their gold and silver and buying the computers for mining Bitcoin.
I have heard that a lot as well, yes.
You know, it's funny that you brought that up. I actually have a cousin who last week started selling his computers that he was using to mine for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies because it was getting too expensive.
The energy and such.
The energy consumption. And he's like, well, I'll just hold on to what I have because I've got equity in it. And I'm like, hold on to what?
Yeah.
Like, what do you have? It's nothing tangible.
Yeah, I'm sticking with gold and silver myself.
Amen.
I think you're one of the more wise people I've talked to today. What was your name?
There's only so much of it on the planet. I actually own a gold and silver mine, and
Fantastic.
just recently I've gotten a lot of offers on the mining claims on it.
Really?
And,
Is
big
it
mining companies
in state or in Nevada or?
in Utah.
Wow.
Awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Connect with us on Facebook. I'm a treasure hunter part time as well, so you know I'm into mines and that kind of stuff. So
Shane's geeking out.
I'm geeking out a bit.
His ears have perked up. He's smiling.
Gold mine? I want my own gold mine. But I think
Yeah,
you're
it's kind
absolutely
of cool. I bought it a long time ago, and it turned out to be something more valuable than what I thought it was
Awesome.
when I bought it. But I only bought it to deer hunt. But
Oh yeah.
That's a pretty good use of property there. Deer hunting, and now you can sell the mining rights. That's
Seriously, message us on Facebook here, and we'll chat a little bit.
all right, we'll talk. Talk to you later, man.
Thanks for the
awesome.
call.
Thanks for the
Appreciate
call. You know, that's it goes right back to your earlier statements, like things of real value. You know, land, gold, silver, beans, bullets, Band-Aids. Like land is a thing of real value. Mining rights are a thing of real value.
Absolutely.
And
Water
we can either use those things or throw them away. But we also have a responsibility to take care of what we have, right? Take care of the earth and do the best things we can with it. And I think a lot of times we just take advantage for profit, when if we do it right, there's actually bigger long-term gains from doing it right.
It's hard to see, though.
It's hard to see, especially in that moment.
I was going to say your conversation, your call reminded me of a video that Peter Schiff posted this morning. You should guys check it out. It's hilarious. Someone had taken an old Sesame Street video with Kermit and then another guy selling a bottle of air, and put Bitcoin instead of air, Bitcoin. It's hilarious. You should check it out. Got another call here. Let's go ahead and take this. Hello, you're live here on Prepper Talk Radio. Did you have a question or comment for us?
Oh, I was your last caller. I just forgot to tell you I don't do Facebook. So
okay.
I'll have to somehow connect with you.
Good for you. Good for you. I applaud you. I would love to delete my account, but
you can email us at preppertalkradio@gmail.com.
Perfect.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Appreciate the call. So yeah, check out that little video, Peter Schiff. I'm a big follower of Peter Schiff. He's a big gold and silver advocate, and he really tells you how it is, what he can see, what's happening in the markets.
Yeah.
And he's a contrarian, and he's an economist. He's an investor. He's a manager, not a hedge fund manager, but he's a
portfolio
financial
manager.
Yeah, he's a financial guy, and he's a smart guy. I really enjoy listening to him. And this video is just hilarious. I'm a Sesame Street guy. I grew up on Sesame Street, right? And with Kermit
Are you
the
going to
Frog
start going into a Kermit the Frog, like
no, I don't.
waving your arms over your head and?
But yeah, this guy approaches him, he's got a trench coat on, and he's whispering, "Hey, I got something for you here. Check what? No, shh, I got this for you." And it's a bottle. It's an empty bottle. It's air. For a nickel, you can have this bottle of air. No, I'm not going to give you the bottle. I'm just going to give you the air in the bottle. And so they've substituted air for Bitcoin in this video. It's hilarious, guys. Check it out, Peter Schiff on YouTube.
Find
or
it
on
and
Facebook
throw it up on our
whatever,
Facebook page.
No, I'll do that. I'll share it on Facebook. So it's hilarious. Anyway, so where to go from here? One thing that I wanted to kind of bring up as well, that I have been trying to practice over the last couple of weeks, that something that stood out to me in my searching is the phrase or the saying, if you're in a hurry, slow down. If you're in a hurry, slow down. Now, what does that mean?
Well,
for me, it means talk slower.
Okay, talk slower, but also like when you're doing something and you're in a hurry to get something done, the faster you go, the more likely you are to make a mistake.
Exactly.
Right. Same thing talking, same thing, driving. It's when we get in a hurry that we make mistakes. When we slow down, that's when we find new solutions.
Exactly.
Or that we stay on a safe path.
My mind is clearer.
Yep.
And, kind of like this second segment. First thing I told Scott is, let's slow it down. Let's step back.
And then you started talking fast.
And then I started talking fast. Because I got so much that wants to just pour out. And I'm trying to pronunciate properly so you can all understand me and not call up and say, hey,
did you just make up a word?
Did I make up a word?
I think you just made up a word.
Or was I just talking too fast?
Pronunciate?
That's a real word. What are you talking about?
Enunciate?
Pronounce. Pronunciate? Is that?
And enunciate.
Call in and tell me if that's a real word. Pronunciate.
That's the purple pill? No.
The purple? Anyway, okay, so where to go from here?
Well, I want to switch gears completely.
Yeah,
sorry, listeners, I'm going to hijack for a second.
Go for it.
I wanted to go in. We were talking about camouflage, and we're talking about invisibility, right? Is kind of a topic, but I really wanted to go there because I've been reading and watching and learning about it, and you can go gray. Like our last caller, he doesn't go on Facebook, right?
Yeah,
he's going gray. He's blending in by not standing out. I drive a big gray vehicle, and it's kind of funny today. I'm looking at us, and I'm like, I'm wearing a gray hat. You're wearing a gray hat. I'm wearing a gray shirt. You're wearing gray pants. I'm wearing blue jeans. You're wearing a black shirt. Like, we don't stand out. If you put a lineup of people, we're not going to be the ones that get picked as quickly.
And we're in a gray studio. The walls are gray, so we could stand against it and kind of blend in.
But I'm thinking not so much like the camouflage of like just hunting, like the camouflage of life. Like, as a prepper, we don't want everyone's attention drawn to us.
I like that.
But we also want to be able to be a voice of reason to help people get better prepared. And so there's like that balance, like, okay, where do we draw the line and where do we conceal ourselves and give ourselves an additional layer of safety versus where don't we?
I'm writing this down. I'm taking notes.
Yeah.